Hello and welcome to Bell's Books. I wrote the theme tune.
Hello, welcome to Bell's Books. I'm Carly, and today I'm back with a Halloween special, which is why I'm sitting at my Victorian desk. So I am doing a very belated spooky books, witchy books on my TBR because, as predicted, I have not got to any of the books I wanted to read this October. It is Halloween and I am still reading Elizabeth Gaskell's Gothic Tales. I've just finished reading just finished reading Lois the Witch, which was most excellent, but very sad. So I want to talk to you about these books that I've got precariously balanced on my desk. They are a mixture of books about witches, spooky books, short stories, but all in the vein of uncanny. So, where should we start? Let's start with this pile. I picked this up on the recommendation of Jean, The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. It sounds like a feminist mashup of Frankenstein, Jekyll and Hyde, and a bunch of other stuff. So it's the daughters of those stories. So we've got Mary Jekyll, who comes into contact with Diana Hyde and Justine Frankenstein, and all of those girls get together. There's a secret society. They're trying to find out information about their fathers, I think. And it just sounds all kinds of wonderful. So I really want to read this very soon. Also, didn't realise that it has won an award. It won the Locus Award for Best First Novel. So I can choose this for my book club next time my choice rolls round. So this, very high up on my list. Sounds amazing. This is a YA, by the way. Then we have, where am I going to put these here? I've got two short story collections, Hag, Forgotten Folktales Retold, which does what it says on the tin. The cover is beautiful. I don't know if you can see it in this light, actually, because the light is quite dark. This is a mixture of various awesome authors. So we've got stories from Daisy Johnson, Kirsty Logan, Emma McBride. Who else? Imogen Hermes Gower, who wrote The Mermaid, Mrs. Hancock. The only one I've read out of this is the Emma McBride one. Did love it because I love Emma McBride. So this is very high up on my list, as are all of these. I was thinking what I might do because it's Halloween tonight and I did want to read some spooky stories, so I might read one from each of these. The other one is The Haunting Season, Ghostly Tales for Long Winter Nights. Again, some excellent authors in here. We've got Bridget Collins, Laura Purcell, Elizabeth McNeil, Jess Kidd, Natasha Pulley, Kiran Millwood-Hargrave, and someone I haven't heard of, Andrew Hurley. I don't know who that is. But Scary Tales, also beautiful cover. Yes, please. All of my favourite things. I've had this one from the library for ages. It's The Deathless Girls by Kiran Millwood-Hargrave. And again, I think this is a YA and it is a riff on Dracula. So I think this is about either Dracula's brides or daughters or something like that. So on the synopsis, we've got about two girls, Lil and Kizzy, who are twins. They are captured by the cruel Boyar Valkar, great name, and forced to work as slaves. And it's their story. There's something to do with a dragon or a monster. I'm here for it. I am here for this. I still am reading Dracula. I started it last Victober. I never finished it. So again, another Victober book that I haven't finished, but I am enjoying it. It's just a big old beast of a book, and it's quite slow paced. So I did mean to pick that up again, but alas, have not had time. So my plan was read Dracula, then read this. I just keep renewing this. Then one that I've not really heard people talk about is, I don't know how to pronounce this, Tyll by Daniel Kehlmann. It is a work of translated fiction. It is translated by Ross Benjamin. Now, from what I can gather, is based in German folklore, and it is about this character, Tyll. And he's kind of a jester figure, which you get from the cover. So from the blurb, it doesn't really give you much information other than that something happens to him. He's from a village in Germany, and I guess it gives him some kind of powers, because he goes through, you're following him through his life, and he goes through all this stuff and survives a lot of things that a normal human would not be able to survive. Anyway, it sounds very dark and a little bit humorous, so I'm really intrigued to get to this. Have you heard of this? Have you read it? Has anyone heard of it? Because I've not seen it really on BookTube at all, unless I'm just looking in the wrong places, but it sounds great. Then we've got one that I've mentioned plenty of times before, Bone China by Laura Purcell. I know I've heard mixed reviews of this. I've heard that it isn't her best, but it sounds right up my street because it is set in Cornwall, which is one of my favourite places. We've got 2 different time periods. So the original character is Louise Pinecroft, and her father is a doctor and does some experimentation to try and cure something wrong with his wife. It's a bit controversial, something goes wrong, and then later on we've got Hester, who arrives to look after the mute Louise, who is very old. So I just really want to get to this very soon. Hopefully I'll pick this up in November or December time. All of these spooky reads I am down for reading in the next couple of months, because I generally don't read Christmas books. This time of year I want to read this kind of stuff, so hopefully I can get through some of these. Then I've got Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman. This is the origin story of practical magic and the rules of magic. I have not read Practical Magic, but I've watched the film. I read the rules of magic and loved it, and this is the origin story. So this is how Maria Owens set the curse about the Owens women to lose the men that they love. So this is set in the 1600s. Dan is opening the door. What's he doing? And it is about Maria Owens being taken in by Hannah, so she's like a found baby, and them learning witchcraft. I love books about witchcraft, so I want to get to this. And also I really loved the rules of magic, and I love Alice Hoffman's writing, so I'm down for that. In the vein of witches, we've got several books on witches. This one I'm reading next, The Manningtree Witches by A.K. Blakemore. It is my book club pick, because it is my turn to pick the book currently for book club. This has recently won the Desmond Elliott Prize, I think it was. It's set in the time of the witch trials. Matthew Hopkins, that bastard, makes an appearance. Of course he does. Are you right there, Dan? Dan's doing a little dance.
Witchfinder General Dance.
That he's doing the Witchfinder General Dance. Yeah, it's about the town of Manningtree, depleted of men. It's about the women, and maybe they're witches, maybe they're not. Who knows? I'm down for this. Anything to do with witches. It sounds excellent. I know Simon really loved it, and I'll take anything on his recommendation. Then we've got Conjure Women by Afia Atakora. This is another witchy book, but it's kind of a bit of a neo-slave narrative as well, or like slave book. So it is about, what is the main character's name? Rue. She got some skills as a midwife, and yeah, so I think this is in a slave plantation or something like this, and what a surprise, she gets accused of being a witch. I got this in a Books That Matter subscription box and haven't read it yet. It sounds amazing. Another witchy book, also Cunning Women by Elizabeth Lee. This would be good if you're doing the autumn hibernation, because it is a beautiful woods on the front, trees, leaves. I love this cover, it's stunning, and got some beautiful foiling there. Love a bit of foiling. This, what a surprise, it's set in the 17th century in Lancashire at the witch trials. I think this is also a romance, which I'm not that keen on romance, so we'll see how I get on, but yeah, this is about women who are cunning folk, and the villagers rely on them to provide cures, and then of course they turn on them because they accuse them all of being witches. Whap whap, classic. Then we've got the last one on my list, Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. This is just another Gothic book that I want to read, set in the 1950s in Mexico, which is quite different from all the rest. So would very much like to get to this year. I think this is quite easy to read and a little YA as well. So this is about a woman that I think she gets summoned to her cousin's house. Yeah, she gets a letter from her newlywed cousin saying something's wrong. She goes to this big old scary house to see what's going down. Everyone's been talking about this book. I think it's a lot of hype. I'm here for it. I'm ready to read this. So these are all of my contemporary spooky books about witchcraft and folklore and stuff. Have you read any of them? Would you like to read any of them? Talk to me in the comments below. Tell me what you would like to read out of this, and which ones you think I should prioritise. That will do for now. Dan, would you like to make an appearance in your suit? Dan is wearing a very nice skeleton suit for Halloween. This is my Victorian get-up dress under my LED, because of course all Victorians wore LED capes, didn't they? I think it's quite authentic. So that's our Halloween. We've finished now with trick-or-treaters, I think, haven't they? They've stopped coming to the door. Hopefully, yes, they're finished coming around because it's getting late now. It's time for all the demons to start coming out instead. And we're waiting for our takeaway because we've been so busy preparing the house for Halloween that we haven't had any time to cook. So we're waiting for our takeaway. And we're probably going to watch a scary film. Turn this ASMR room off because you're probably a bit bored of it now, aren't you? And I will see you in another video very soon. It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from the theme tune writer of Bell's Books.
I wrote the theme tune.
He did write the theme tune. Bye.